To the young men who are going through it, perhaps you're going through perhaps a family tragedy, or you're going through a breakup, you're going through a big transition in your life. You're probably, and I know I'm not trying to be like on some fortune teller shit. I mean, it happens to everyone, right? But to the young men and women, right? If you're going through a crisis or a big change like heartbreak, um, like I am right now, um, it's hard. There's no there's no putting a roundabout in front of the problem. You just gotta confront the situation boldly, forwardly, direct. You cannot go around it. You must confront it, and you're probably gonna be nervous. You're probably gonna be scared. You're probably in your early 20s. Not to say that tragedy can't occur later in your life, but I feel like obviously once you leave high school and you transition to becoming a young adult, and then a young adult to a full-fledged adult, you're going to go through a lot of changes. You leave high school, you're not going to have time for your high school buddies. The time you do have is going to be very minuscule. Um, you have a couple options. You can either obviously just fuck off and do the whole social thing, or you can lock in early, get a head start, and try to, make something of yourself. I chose the latter. The reason I'm making this video is because if you set out a vision for yourself, a dream, a big goal, a big end game for yourself, and it doesn't even have to be crazy. Like mine is just to retire early. I highly recommend Aaron Clary's YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the description. That man's channel is a gem. Um, for the young guys, if there's a young guy watching this or a young woman who has a dream, a vision, I highly suggest, not to sound cringe, but man, the red pill saves lives. The red pill definitely gave me clarity on social aspects, social dynamics of men and women, and but that's not the main point of this video. The main point of this video is if you're trying to achieve a certain objective, a certain dream, a certain vision for yourself, like mine is to retire early, before 30. I'm going to do that by living on land, living very below my means. I'm going to assist, I'm going to assist paying my parents' mortgage. I'm going to retire my mom early. I'm going to retire myself early. Take care of my people, live on my land, grow my own crops. Basically, I'm going to be playing Minecraft in real life. I know that sounds stupid, but that's kind of been my end game, is to retire early and achieve freedom so I can say fuck you to any employer. Um, be in a position of maximum leverage, maximum control, total freedom over one's life. And I feel like you can't achieve that with kids. Now, if you want kids, I'm not saying you can't do it. You can. Um, I'll go ahead and provide resources for that. But the reason I'm making this video, just in my room as I'm thinking about this, is because you have to be able to, you have to be willing to make sacrifices. Unfortunately for me, that meant my relationship of 6 years. She's a great woman. I don't hate her. It's nothing like that. Um, but you know how it is. You get older, differences. I mean, I guess my main takeaway from that is if you're in a relationship with someone, you have to make sure your mission, vision, and like you guys' end game has to be aligned. You have to clarify that from the beginning. You know, I thought I did do that, but I didn't emphasize it enough. Um, I don't regret the relationship. I learned a lot from it. But if you're trying to pursue a vision, you're trying to pursue a dream, you're trying to pursue an end goal for yourself, you have to be willing to put things on the sacrificial table. You have to be willing to kill your old self for your new self. And it's gonna hurt like a bitch, man. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This heartbreak I'm going through, it hurts. I'm human. I got emotions. It sucks right now. But you know what feels good? It feels good knowing that I'm going to achieve my goals. I'm one step closer to retire early. I'm one step closer from becoming independent. I'm one step closer from being able to say F you to any employer. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to be driving a cool car. I'm not going to be wearing fancy clothes. I'm going to be living in a trailer on land that I own. And you know what? That's a hell of a lot more than a lot of people can say. And I'm very blessed. I'm very grateful. Ask yourself what you're willing to discard in the present moment for a better future self. That's a fucking tough question. If you're in a relationship, and this is to any young man or woman, or for that matter, even if you're older, it's never too late to flip the script. There's different leverages in different age groups, but let's be honest here. If you're younger, you have a hell of a lot more leverage with time. That's your biggest lever. Capitalize on it, guys. Your dream, your vision, you have to put it on the sacrificial table. When I say this, I don't mean it literally. You metaphorically speaking, you have to kill your old self to become the new self. However that looks like for you. I just told you guys what it looks like for me. Those are my goals. That's my dream. That's my vision. And in a way, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You have to be ruthless. You have to tuck in. You have to tuck in that vision, that dream, that objective. You have to clutch onto it. You have to clutch onto those fucking pearls, man. And you can't let go. And no matter what your family members say, no matter what if you're with someone, you're with a girlfriend or boyfriend, no matter what they say, if you feel like you can't compromise on an objective, on a goal, on a vision, if that goal or objective or vision means more than your relationship, or if you're at least in line, that's awesome. If you're in line, that's great. But to those who know what I'm talking about, where you're in a relationship, but the mission, the values, the objectives, the end goals aren't aligned, you know it sucks. You know it's painful. But if it hurts more to know that potentially your relationship or the situation you're in or whatever crisis you're going through, if it feels more painful to not give up your old self in order to achieve that vision, that dream, peel the band-aid off as soon as you can, because it's gonna hurt. You don't want to be in your late 30s and your late 40s thinking what could have been. I'm telling you right now, I'm going through a breakup with my relationship of 6 years. It sucks, man. I'm 23. It sucks. She was a great girl, but again, we want different things in life, and I'm trying to achieve my vision, my end goal. And I know my future self is going to be happy at my present self for killing his old self and stepping into the new self. Future self is going to be very happy with the decision that he made